Hey everyone, it's Ryan with Real Property Management Ignite, your Central Oregon experts for all things rental property management, serving Bend, Redmond, Sisters, Prineville, and everywhere in between. Today we're breaking down the top 4 rules every landlord in Deschutes County needs to know. Whether you manage one rental home or a full portfolio, these rules can save you from big headaches while keeping you 100% compliant. So let's jump in. The number 1 law you need to be aware of is the Oregon Residential Landlord and Tenant Act. This is the big one. It's basically the landlord rulebook for the entire state. What it means in plain English is you've got to provide a safe, livable home for your tenants. This means working plumbing, heat, electrical, and so on. You've got to give proper notice before entering, at least 24 hours written notice unless there's an emergency. And then everything from rent increases to lease terminations has to be done in writing and follow the timeline set by law. So for Deschutes County landlords, this act is your foundation, essentially. Follow it closely, document everything, and you'll protect yourself if there's ever a dispute. The second most important law you need to be aware of has to do with rent control and rent increases. Yep, Oregon has statewide rent control, so it applies right here in Deschutes County. For rentals that are more than 15 years old, you can only raise rent once every 12 months, and the increase is capped at 7% plus the consumer price index from the previous year. The state updates this number every year, so you need to make sure and check back before sending out an increased notice. And speaking of notice, you've got to give at least 90 days written notice before the increase kicks in. Miss that step, and you could owe your tenant damages or attorney fees. Some good news is, however, that if your home is under 15 years old, you're exempt from this requirement. So the bottom line is, know your property's age, track your last increase date, and always use a clear written notice. Hey, really quick. If you manage investment properties in Bend, Redmond, Sisters, or Prineville, and want to ensure your leases, rental policies, and owner reports are fully compliant with these key laws, is specifically tailored for Deschutes County, Real Property Management Ignite is ready to help. Give us a call for a quick audit of your owner portfolio and standard lease templates. We'll make sure you're protected and positioned for success. The third law has to do with termination and eviction rules, specifically Oregon's just cause eviction law. This one catches a lot of landlords off guard. During the first year of a month-to-month tenancy, you can end a rental agreement without cause. Just give 30-day notice. But after that first year, you need a valid reason. This is what the law calls just cause. That might mean serious lease violations, non-payment of rent, you're moving into the property yourself, doing major repairs, or selling to a buyer who's going to live there. In most of those cases, you'll need to give 90 days written notice, and in some cases, even pay relocation assistance. If you ever have to go through a formal eviction here in Deschutes County, it's handled through the local circuit court. The timeline is pretty quick, but the paperwork has to be exact. That's why we always recommend working with a professional management company. Mistakes in notice or filing can cost you weeks or even months. The fourth law has to do with security deposits and move-out accounting. Security deposits are one of the biggest sources of disputes between landlords and tenants. Oregon law says you've got 31 days after a tenant moves out to send back their deposit or a detailed statement showing what you deducted. You can only charge for unpaid rent and damages beyond normal wear and tear or other actual costs. If you withhold money without a solid reason, or you miss that 31-day deadline, you could end up owing double the amount to your tenant. In Deschutes County, the best practice is to do a thorough move-in and move-out inspection with photos, a condition checklist, and signed documentation. That way, if there's ever a disagreement, you've got the proof to back it up. So that's it. The top 4 laws every Deschutes County landlord needs to know. If all of this sounds like a lot to manage, it's probably because it is. At Real Property Management Ignite, we specialize in keeping Central Oregon landlords compliant, protected, and proper. We handle the notices, inspections, documentation, basically all the details, so you can focus on your investment, not the headaches. If you want a quick compliance review or help with your current rental, give us a call or visit rpmignite.com. We'll make sure your rental business stays on the right side of Oregon law. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.